Hey, this is Scott Smith, and I'm here to talk about magical timing, rest, and work. So, this is important in Magick and Witchcraft. Magical timing is, in the simplest terms, understanding when to do something so that what you want to happen has the best wind in its sails to make it so. What is the best timing for what you'd like to do? This is why we follow the moon and the stars and the seasons when we're doing our magic. Because these things are all sort of like wheels within the great cosmic clock. I like to say that when we talk about divine timing, if you really want to know what it is, look at the sun, moon, and stars and the changings of the season, because that's when it's happening. You can see the changing of these energies as the moon changes, as the sun changes signs, and all these sorts of things. This is why we do magic during those things, because we want that new moon Leo, not the dark moon, and not the moon in Virgo, maybe, to make something happen. And we want to hit those marks to gather that energy and add it to our spells, our works, our meditations, our energy, whatever we're doing to see success. It's work. It's not always easy. So when we're doing magic and witchcraft, it's not always going to be convenient. But if we really want to hit that mark and get that specific energy, we have to adjust ourselves. We have to change our schedules, and we have to show up in those places when we want to get them. My Saturday, Sunday were insane. And I loved it. And I was tired. I needed to rest, but I also needed to work. So I needed to adjust what I was doing to make that work happen so that the magic could be sort of released into the world, and I could reap the benefit of that later. Because magic works, especially when you start to line it up with the timing of things. So then that sort of dives into magic as work and when to rest. It's very wonderfully in the popular to rest, to self-care, to take care of yourself, to be mindful of you and make sure that you're functioning correctly, because the world is what it is, and we're doing our best to change that, but it's pretty tough. And when you do big magic work, sometimes too that can weigh on you, and you do need to rest. You absolutely do need to rest. However, magic is not always shaped around all of your rests. It reminds me of the hobbits. It's like you have breakfast and then tea and then elevensies and then lunch and then whatever the thing is, that is appealing in a lot of ways, but it's really not conducive to magical timing or the work that's involved in magic. Because magic is more than just releasing an intention to the universe. Essentially, that's what we're doing. It is about timing the release of that message. It's like planning the call. It's like the right moment to send that message. And we have to prepare for that. And the more we prepare for that, the more resonance we bring into that process of making it happen, the better the percentage, that it'll work out for us in our favor. But it's not always conducive to rest. My friend, who is probably watching this, said I was on fire during the new moon period, and that is true. And I had done a lot of work, and I'm still tired today, and I still have clients to see and work to prepare for as I'm teaching tomorrow. And I am resting where I can, but that doesn't, eclipse what I need to do, because I have projects and things that I'm running for myself that should I use rest over tending to them, will suffer, and I don't want that to happen. And that's the necessary sacrifice. We're in that Lammas tide as a necessary sacrifice to ensure the success of those things. So it's not always about self-care. Sometimes in the sense of just shutting down and reading or being in nature, but it is about self-care and maintaining my pace through the things that need to be done. So it's not really an either or. We tend to look at those things in that way. It's like, oh, I have to work or I have to rest. But really, it's sort of like, what's the work-rest integration that's happening here, and how best do I accomplish these things and those things? Because if you want magic to happen, it is work. It's not just the result of which affects you individually and causes personal development, which we might call the work. But it's also the work of meeting the magic as we let it out into the universe and prepare for it to happen. Um, it's great to think that it all lies in intention, but intention is just the base upon which we build the rest of the ritual and magic that we'd like to see happen. And then there's, the consequence of our intentions that we are also beholden to. So, anyways, that's my little bit on magic, that it does require us tracking the timing. It does require us finding the right moment. It does require work. And regardless of our desire to want to stay on our PJs and stick our, feet in the garden soil, which I love, that's not always conducive. And sometimes you have to manage when you're going to do things. And that requires a sacrifice of the 11 C's. This is Scott Smith. I hope you enjoyed this talk on magic, timing, and rest. Get the rest when you can and when you need it, and do the work when it's time. You can find out more about me at starandstonellc.com. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.